buying some pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on.
This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control.
See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing a toilet or fixing an air conditioner. But thankfully, there's Home Advisor. Home Advisor helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, and even book appointments online. And what my wife loves most is that Home Advisor is completely free to use.
Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
Home Advisor.
This is Ian White of the Columbus River Dragons, your home for River Dragons hockey in Noonan 99 Rock.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Unit C. I'm Stephanie, and I'm the host. If you're just joining us, we're exploring each of the 15 beats from the Saint Attack Right novel by Jessica Brody. Last week, we discussed the theme Sainted beat, where the underlying lessons of protagonist is suddenly introduced. Today, we're moving forward to the setup beat, where the foundations for your entire story begin to take shape. The setup is where we introduce the protagonist's everyday life, the world they inhabit, and the supporting cast of characters. Think of this section as a sneak peek of the stakes, the struggles, and the changes that lie ahead. The setup also provides a sense of what your protagonist wants, but more importantly, what they need. So let's break down what the setup beat involves and why it's so essential. So the setup beat generally comprises of about 10% of the story. It's your story's grounding beat, and it serves as a kind of promise to the reader about the tone and the setting and what kind of journey they're about to take. It allows readers to see the world the protagonist lives in, understand their relationships, and most importantly, identify the problems that are going to escalate as the story moves forward. The setup also sets the emotional and narrative foundation for the conflict that will play out. It's where readers get to see what's missing or off in the protagonist's life. The problems they may not even fully realize yet. The unmet need is often the catalyst that's going to drive the character's transformation. So there's a lot you need to do in the setup, but thankfully this is a multi-scene beat. It's very rare you're only going to have one scene or one chapter for a setup. There's usually several. So let's look at some examples. In J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, we see Harry living with the Dursleys, enduring constant mistreatment and struggling to fit in. Through this beat, Rowling shows us how bleak Harry's life is, which contrasts sharply with the magical world he's about to enter. This normal sets the stage for what he's about to lose and gain. In The Hunger Games by Susan Collins, in the setup we see Katniss Everdeen's world, we see the poverty of District 12, her responsibility for her family, and the oppressive nature of the capital. This initial glimpse into Katniss's reality shows what's at stake and reveals what's motivating her, survival. Both of these examples are classic setup beats, because they give us just enough insight into the protagonist's life and introduces stakes, which will become even more apparent as the story progresses. The setup beat also introduces the supporting cast of characters, people who will either help or hinder the protagonist's journey. These can be friends, family members, mentors, or antagonists who embody aspects of the protagonist's world. Their interactions with the protagonist in the setup often connect the protagonist's strengths and weaknesses, desires and fears, and how they approach problems in their everyday life. Now, most of the characters we meet in the setup are what is called A-story characters. These are characters from before the lessons learned, before the character starts developing a sense of his story theme, as opposed to B-story characters, usually characters you meet after the catalyst, not always, but characters who are going to help your protagonist learn the lessons they need to learn. Those are B-story characters. A-story characters are there to help introduce the protagonist's normal. So, for example, in Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, the setup introduces us to Elizabeth Bennet's family, her sisters, and her mother's determination to see her daughters married. These characters represent the social pressures and challenges Elizabeth will face, and it also foreshadows the difficult decisions and personal growth she'll encounter along the way. Those are A-story characters. They're already a part of her life. Later, we'll start to meet her feeders, who are going to help her learn this lesson about pride, and those are your B-story characters. So in terms of what the protagonist wants versus what they need, the setup shows what the protagonist thinks will make them happy. In The Great Gatsby, Jay Gatsby believes that wealth and status will win Jay-Z's love. But readers see from his loneliness and expression that he actually needs some self-acceptance and genuine human connection. This theme will guide his journey, even if he's unaware of it. So, if you're following along with my story, Elementals by S.C. Lauren on Kindle Vella, we're going to talk briefly about the setup and how I do that. So the setup beat in Elementals spans from episode 5 to the beginning of episode 17. This beat unfolds across multiple themes, each introducing and grounding our four protagonists in their unique environments and relationships. Let's start with Miara, the Waterlander. During the setup, we meet the main characters of Miara's world. We see her close relationship with her brother Yokov, who was banished from their family home for impregnating a woman not chosen by their mother Maraka. Miara's primary goal is to mend the relationship between Yokov and Maraka, hoping to restore the family's harmony. She envisions a future where she and Yokov successfully run a fishing business together, even to the point where Maraka's restaurant partners with it. However, Miara's desire to fix things reflects an external goal driven by a need for control. We also meet her mentor, or her friend rather, Tachana, and Tachana's daughter, Inanna, as well as Miara's family, including her pregnant sister, uncle, and in-laws. Now, we haven't talked much about the shields yet in this story, but these are sort of guardians of each of the four lands. Shield Tachana has power over water, and you see that Tachana is actually already intricate in Miara's life. This makes her an A-story character. The setup here also shows some tension between Miara and her mother, and the over-commercialization of her family's restaurant, giving us insight to Miara's conflicting emotions and the obstacles in her world. So next we have our Earthlander, Vidal. His setup introduces us to his life with his alcoholic mother, who lives on his uncle Mariano's property. We learn that Vidal's father abandoned the family when Vidal was young, leading him to depend on his uncle's grudging generosity. Vidal's primary responsibility is tending to his uncle's sheep, and we see his struggles to assert himself as his elder cousin. When a sheep goes missing, Uncle Mariano sends Vidal and his cousins to search for it. During his search, Vidal tries standing up for himself, but his response backfires. It escalates the tension between him and his cousins, and it also highlights his inner conflict and his need to learn self-confidence. For Dan, his setup centers around his commitment to providing for his sister, Umara. We see him working in the firelands in a mine, and to make enough money to buy a window for their small home, something that his little sister desires deeply. He takes a grueling weekend job on the firelands railroad system. Dan's tendency to punish himself by overworking and his strong sense of duty to others shine through in these scenes, particularly when a railroad accident occurs. In the chaos, Dan puts himself at risk to save others, underscoring both his selflessness and his ongoing guilt over his mother's death, which he is still unable to forgive himself for. Lastly, we have our Airlander Fitz. Her setup shows her privileged life in the Airlands, where her family is especially affluent. Her mother holds a high-ranking position in Parliament, while her father is a renowned inventor and artist. We meet her grandfather, who designed the nation's windmills, which are going to be providing power to the cities. His family announces a trip to a place called Middle Ground, and her father gives her a dress for the occasion. Initially reluctant, Fitz quickly gets her way, highlighting her privileged nature. Fitz's artistic and musical talents emerge as she paints watercolors and plays violin to soothe her grandfather. However, when she learns her family has fired Jada, their servant and Fitz's friend, she feels betrayed and upset. Her boyfriend Alani dismisses her feelings, leading to their breakup. Fitz ultimately decides that a trip away with her family might lift her spirit, setting her up for the journey ahead. Now, in stories with multiple protagonists, as in Elementals, The setup beat is not just a framework for each character individually, it's also a foundational beat for the world itself. Beyond individual character arcs, the setup beat establishes the broader world arc that will intersect with each protagonist's story. This setup continues building until the overarching catalyst, which we'll discuss in next week's episode. So one thing I usually suggest when I'm working with a writer is if you have a story with multiple protagonists, like elementals, you're going to have to do a beat sheet for every single character, and you're probably going to have to do a beat sheet for the world as well. That's 5 beat sheets for me, so I've been very busy with elementals. Now, if you're following along with elementals, be sure to read through episode 17 on Kindle. Episode 17 is going to have our world catalyst in it, and we're really going to dive in and start talking about that. You can even read as far as episode 18, because it has a little bit of the catalyst for some of our individual characters as well. So, the setup, why is it important? Well, the setup doesn't just introduce your protagonist's world. It also encourages readers by giving them a sense of what's at stake. This is the last moment of normalcy before the story truly takes off with the catalyst beat, where something unexpected will push the protagonist into a new reality. Without a strong setup, readers may not feel invested in the journey to come. It's the heart of what your story is asking readers to care about, and it's why the beat can be so powerful in setting up the stakes and drawing readers into your character's world. So next week, we'll be diving into the catalyst, the event that changes everything and pushes your character into the adventure of the story. It's an exciting and crucial beat, so make sure to stay tuned in. And do not forget to check out Elemental by S.G. Warren on Kindle. The first 10 episodes are absolutely free, and you'll be able to see several of the setup beats for my characters as I guide them through their world's unique challenges and dynamics. Follow along on Amazon by searching Elementals by S.G. Warren, and follow me on Instagram at s.c.lauren for more updates. Thank you everyone so much for listening, and I'll see you next time on Metis Speak.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
This is MJ Graham with Columbus River Dragons, your home for River Dragons hockey, Noonan 99 Rock.
You're walking, shopping, or on your favorite trail. You get that feeling somebody's coming up on you. What do you do to be prepared in today's world? Hi, I'm Holly Reese. I'm the founder of Warrior Defenders. As a certified tactical self-defense instructor, I'm specializing in women's self-defense. All women of all ages have the ability to learn how to defend themselves effectively. With technical drills to build their survival skills, you can be your own hero. Classes and private seminars are available. Learn today to have a safer tomorrow. WarriorDefenders.com.
Shopping for insurance doesn't have to be stressful. I'm Christy, owner of Ellsworth Insurance, located here in Newnan, Georgia. We're an independent agency with access to multiple carriers for home, auto, life, health, and commercial insurance. We're your one-stop shop for your insurance needs. www.insurewithellsworth.com, 770-755-7053. We look forward to meeting you soon.
Hank Arnold here from Coweta Force. Coweta Force is Newlands' own addiction recovery support center. We exist to provide recovery support services for individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services are no cost, and all of our information is available on our website at www.cowetaforce.org or follow us on Facebook.
Are you looking for a dog trainer with positive reinforcement to help you bond with your new furry friends, or to have customized training in your own home, or wonderful group classes? Check out Pits and Pals on their Facebook page. Rosemary has extensive certification in dog psychology, is an AKC certified evaluator, and Victoria Stillwell certified training team. Check out Pits and Pals Facebook for more information. Rosemary wants to remind you to adopt, don't shop, save a life at Coweta County Shelter today.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
FM Power Strike Back. I'm your host, H.D. Reese, on WQEE The Key 99.1 FM. Thank you so much for our amazing sponsors, Ellsworth Insurance, Coweta Forest, and of course Warrior Defenders, along with Pits and Pals Dog Training and all the positive reinforcement that she does. She wants to remind you to adopt, don't shop, and make sure that you check out the Coweta County Animal Shelter on Selt Road here in Noonan, Georgia, for the dogs that have limited time left. And today we have a beautiful pet of the week that we're going to be sharing. His name is Beetlejuice. How appropriate for today. So don't say that 3 times unless you're calling him for dinner. But he is looking for an amazing home. Probably would be great to have him in your home before October 31st. But he's not doing well in boarding, and some dogs really need human companionship, and he is one of them. He's a 2-year-old mixed breed. He's only 41 pounds. So he's full grown, and unlike his namesake, he is sweet and loving. It would make a good running partner because he loves to play fetch and games and have a loving family of his own to play with and let them sleep in the comfy bed with him, because he does really need human companionship. So check him out at heartsandhomesrescue.org. That heartsandhomesrescue.org, and get him adopted into a beautiful home for his namesake, for Beetlejuice, for the month of October. So also for the month of October, this whole month we have dedicated the Empower Strike Back show to domestic violence awareness, because this is the month where we bring awareness to people, to break the silence, to bring domestic violence into the forefront. And today is going to be a special show. At the second half of the show, we'll be sharing inspirational messages from survivors who felt they would like to share what they've been through, what they learned, how they can be supporting each other, and learn from them. And also going to be playing some amazing, my personal inspirational tunes that I love to play to bring yourself up to that day when you're like, everything's going, this is what you've been through. We've talked about it, like Buy Myself Flowers and all those songs, but I have 2 very important songs I'll be playing today around those inspirational messages from domestic violence survivors in the second half of the show. And I'm so honored for them to be able to build up their strength and share what they've been through with other people to inspire them. But when it comes to defense and safety this week, also with a lot of things that are going on with the trunk or treats and all this being outside in the dark after the sun goes down early and all this time change and the weather, we have so much going on that we need to be aware of for safety in the dark. And I will be sharing some more safety tips on Warrior Defenders Facebook page and Instagram as well for dark hours. But we really want to make sure that when you're going out with your littles, to only go to well-lit homes, and make sure that they don't go inside. There is a video floating around on Facebook about a test. These 2 kids went inside, and they were asked why did they go inside, because they wanted to go see the fish tank. So teach your kids not to ever go inside with anybody that they don't know. When you're outside, and this is something I'm seeing a lot lately, when you're outside, please make sure you have some reflective devices on you, some blinking lights. There was a young man on a bicycle in the dark on a highway. He had a flashlight in the front but nothing in the back. Make sure that you light yourself up so that you are noticed at night, and don't rely on the reflectors to catch the light. Make sure it is a blinking light that you're wearing, or something that is always on. Don't ever go outside at night, especially for the trick-or-treaters or anybody that's staying out in groups. Always be together, and make sure that you have people next to you, and don't lose that person. I don't know how many times you see on these spooky shows, somebody gets separated and they're gone. So we want to make sure that nobody gets separated from their groups as well. Choose familiar routines and go to well-lit stores and neighborhoods that you know. No wandering around in unknown realms, y'all. Stay where your side of the road is. Make sure that you know where you're going, and you make sure that other people know where you're going to be. Establish an hour for your littles to be home if they're going out in a group without adults. Make sure that even if there's teenagers supervising them, they all know the return time and agree to the boundaries where they can go, and remind them not to have any of those candy treasures open before they get home. And make sure your kiddies know what to do if they get separated. Give them a phone or a note card with contact information with their name, your name, information on who to call. That is extremely important. Make sure that all of your littles stay safe for this week, and always during the winter time be well aware of your surroundings in the dark. At warriordefenders.com we actually do my classes on a weekly basis, except for around the holidays times. And last week we discussed what to do in the dark and watch the shadows, and how to be aware of things coming up behind you by shadows and reflections, even in the dark. So utilize all your situational awareness this time of year, especially in the dark. Check out warriordefenders.com for all your safety and awareness and self-defense tools needs. And follow us on YouTube as well to learn more about how to stay away from the creepy, because there is a video on there in my shorts on what to do in case Michael comes up behind you. So we will be back in just a minute to listen to our inspirational music and our speakers for domestic violence awareness, and hear their stories and what they've been through. And then I'll be back right after that. Walking, shopping, or on your favorite trail, you get that feeling somebody's coming up on you. What do you do to be prepared in today's world? Hi, I'm Holly Reese. I'm the founder of Warrior Defenders. As a certified tactical self-defense instructor, I'm specializing in women's self-defense. All women of all ages have the ability to learn how to defend themselves effectively. With technical drills to build their survival skills, you can be your own hero. Classes and private seminars are available. Learn today to have a safer tomorrow. WarriorDefenders.com. Are you looking for a dog trainer with positive reinforcement to help you bond with your new furry friends, or to have customized training in your own home, or wonderful group classes? Check out Pits and Pals on their Facebook page. Rosemary has extensive certification in dog psychology, is an AKC certified evaluator, and Victoria Stillwell certified training team. Check out Pits and Pals Facebook for more information. Rosemary wants to remind you to adopt, don't shop, save a life at Coweta County Shelter today.
Hello everyone, this is DJ Commando of a 45's Affair radio show, where I play all vinyl 45s. You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, Noonan, Georgia.
Well, she seemed alright by dawn's early light, though she looked a little worried and weak. She tried to pretend he wasn't drinking again, but Daddy left the proof on her cheek. And I was only 8 years old that summer, and I always seemed to be in the way. Just put out the flames and took down some names. Sent me to the county home. Now I ain't saying it's right or it's wrong, but maybe it's the only way. Talk about your revolution. It's Independence Day. Let freedom ring. Let the white dove sing. Let the whole world know that today is a day of a reckoning. Let the weak be strong. Let the heart be wrong. Roll the stone away. Let the guilty pay. It's Independence Day. Roll the stone away. It's Independence Day.
Hi, my name is Leslie. I'm a domestic violence survivor. I started taking self-defense classes with Holly, and now I feel more self-aware. I'm now married to my best friend and doing my best to overcome my PTSD. If you or someone you may know or experience domestic violence, get help now. It does not get any better. I am so glad I got out, even in the times I thought there was no hope.
Hi, I'm Alicia Caruso, and I am an abuse survivor. Before I became a sober alcoholic, I was attacked 4 different times by 4 different men while drunk. Throughout my life, this kept me in and out of hospitals for depression, and I even had shock treatments. When I started sharing about my experiences of abuse with other women, I finally started finding my voice. I still felt like a target, even though I was sober. My first step was finding Holly's Warrior Defenders group and taking self-defense classes that gave me more self-confidence. After that, I started attending an abuse recovery group called Her Journey that Holly also recommended. I want other women to know that any abuse is never her fault. Until I heard that statement told to me by a dear friend, I was still locked into my shame and guilt for many years, feeling like it was my fault. After my friend said that to me, I started to slowly heal. I was eventually able to talk about it publicly at a women's ministry called The Women at the Well. Once I shared there, the floodgates were opened, and I felt like I was totally healed. I was even able to share my story in a book recently published by The Women at the Well called Stories of Hope. The title of my story is On the Other Side of Shame. I couldn't have done it without God in my life. He just kept nudging me along to recovery, and eventually I became a survivor, then a conqueror of my past. I want other women to know that as long as I didn't share what had happened to me, I stayed as sick as my secrets.
My name is Maddie. I am a survivor of domestic violence, and as a child I want to share my hope for others. Even though there seems to be times where you have no hope or way out, always believe in yourself, because I know firsthand how terrifying it is even to witness it being done. I saw it happen to my mom, so I made a very important phone call while being scared. There is always hope, and if you make a plan, you can get out.
My name is Crystal. I am a survivor of narcissistic abuse. For 20 years, I was abused physically, mentally, financially, emotionally, sexually. I was lied about. I was made to look like a fool. I was always inferior to him. I finally found the courage to leave him after 22 years. He made me feel trapped for all these years. I thought he had turned everyone against me. I thought I was alone. I finally left. I was trying to find freedom. I was grasping in every direction. The only thing that helped me was going to self-help groups, reading self-help books, trying to understand narcissism, trying to understand why he was the way he was. This was part of my journey. I just had to know. From my journey, I realized that everything I tried to do was the right thing. Everything I did in my marriage was the right thing. I can go to sleep tonight with no regrets, knowing that I survived the most horrible part of my life, and it was worth it. I'm still single, but I'm more happy now than I've ever been. I encourage you to reach out and get all the help you can get. And no, you are not that person they have created in their mind.
My name is Christina Baxter, and I am a survivor of domestic violence. And I wanted to get on and encourage anybody that is in an abusive relationship, whether that's a physical abusive or mentally abusive. And most times before it's even physical abusive, it's mental. And so I just wanted to encourage you to seek help, that there are people out here that have been through it, that there are people who are out here that is ready and willing to help and be there for you. And I also wanted to remind you that you are loved, you are worthy, you are important, and you are strong. And I also want to give encouragement to family members or friends that have somebody in an abusive relationship, that please be patient and understand that they are dealing with a mental abuse and that they may go back a couple of times. They may not see the value the first time or the second time, but be a safe place. Be somebody that they can run to in the midst of the bad days and in the midst of the good days. Be that one person that they can come to and feel safe and express exactly what's going on. Silence is the worst enemy when it comes to domestic violence. So allow them to speak, allow them to have a voice, allow them to be heard and to be loved.
I am a domestic violence survivor of over a decade. I was married to an airline pilot and thought I had the best life ever. After the first 4 years, things became more strange and unsettling. The controlling and possessiveness grew worse. While what a ride and awakening I was facing. Who would have thought your husband would have controlled you from having friends and family over to the once independent woman he married to now dictating your every move after? Being told you're not good enough and you'll never leave to the first slap and controlling conversation you will ever have after. To only realize you are in too deep that you have no other choice but to stay. Ladies, you have a voice and you matter. You can leave just as I did. Almost 6 years later, and I'm more free now than I ever have. I can breathe. I still have my voice. I'm still alive because I'm that survivor of domestic violence.
Hi, my name is Serena Bowman, and I am a youth and adult domestic violence advocate. I want to thank Holly D. Reese from Empower Strikes Back and WQEE Key Radio with Ryan for bringing me on here today. I also come out to children's events and teach to speak up for themselves starting at an early age. It's very important that children recognize the word no. Even though October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, we still need to bring awareness to all communities every day. Domestic violence causes financial strain, mental health issues, broken family bonds, and can end tragically. I've made it my personal mission to advocate for stricter laws. Please join myself and others on this plight for justice. Please remember, there is help for you or someone you may know going through this. I say let's speak up for those who have been silent. Please share this number everywhere on all social media platforms. This is the hotline number. You can call 1-800-799-SAFE. Again, 1-800-799-SAFE or 1-800-799-7233. Remember, your voice will always matter, and change are not always visible.
Those are powerful messages from survivors, and I'm very, very proud of every single one of them and every one of you who are out there listening who have gone through domestic violence as a survivor. As a survivor today, I want to say you are not alone. Learn today to have a safer tomorrow. You can be your own hero. Check us out at warriordefenders.com and see where I will be at for my next book signings and speaking engagements over the weekend for Life After Silence. Be a survivor, bring awareness, break the silence to domestic violence. Thank you for joining us for our show today. We're going out with one of my favorite songs, I Will Survive.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. And I grew strong, and I learned how to get along. And so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I'd have known for just 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Oh, now go, walk out the door. Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to hurt me with your lies? just hurt me, think goodbye. Just think I